How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well.
Good, good. Yeah, I just got a few questions for you, man, if you don't mind.
Sure. Shoot.
um, I had a problem with my box truck back in been about a year ago, in
Mm-hmm.
the Columbia, South Carolina, OTR. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm getting it fixed now. I've been out the business for like 8 months, 9 months, or somewhere right there. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready to get back in, get the transmission, everything put back in. So I don't know how the freight been running since I got out of the business and what you
Mm-hmm.
prefer.
What I prefer or what you prefer?
I mean, what I prefer.
Okay.
I mean, cause the thing is, I've been out. I don't know what the freight like and everything like that.
You
And I
gotta
know you was
find.
talking about. I know
Mm-hmm.
you was talking about moving. See, I'm 58. You know, I ain't gonna be doing a whole lot of moving furniture.
Mm-hmm. So you've been out of the business for 8 months and you ain't been staying abreast of what's going on out here?
Well, I got a dispatcher, and he would kind of tell me freight wasn't that good at probably about a couple of weeks ago. So,
Well,
but still, I just want to kind of
when you say freight ain't that good, what you mean by that? The rates ain't good, or the
the
volume
rate,
ain't
the
good, or
rate,
what?
the rates ain't good. The rates ain't that good.
That all depends on the individual. So, what were you doing
Okay.
prior? What were you doing prior to your truck breaking down?
OTR. I was over the road. I was running the East Coast. I was running
Mm-hmm.
from Philly, Jersey, all the way down to Georgia, coming back up Tennessee,
Mm-hmm. All right,
and
let me ask you.
that's go
Good.
ahead.
What?
And
When did you?
that's the way I
When?
was running. I'm
When did you
located in
start?
North Carolina.
When did you start your box truck business?
Uh,
Was it sometime between
Early part
2020
of
and
22.
2022?
Yes,
What type of truck do you have?
I got a 26-foot box
Your make and model?
lift gate. Lift gate. It's a 2011,
Mm-hmm. What,
and
international?
Freightliner.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about it, man, I don't know. Should I talk about the repairs and stuff on air or what? Um,
I
because
be
when I got towed off the road and everything, I mean, what should I not?
it's your story, man.
Oh, okay. But still, I mean, but it's your show,
Hey man, hey, you up here? Dude, it's open. It's
you
a
know.
open floor. Go for it.
Yeah. So, I was coming from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I'm listening in the
I had
headphone. I'm just
one.
gonna walk. Just tell the story. I'm listening. I'm just gonna walk away. Go ahead.
Okay, and I had a breakdown in Columbia, South Carolina. And when the breakdown happened, I got towed to a Freightliner place, and they kind of railroad me out of a large amount of money. That's why it kind of took me so long to get my truck back running like it's supposed to have been. And so what I'm trying to do, man, well, I mean, I'm in the process of getting it back going now, but I could have had it going a little earlier than what it did. So now what I'm trying to ask you, man, I'm not just asking you about the freight and everything now. Um,
So when you said they railroaded you, what you mean by they railroaded you? How what was wrong with the truck?
well, they said they could fix the truck to the Freightliner in Columbia, South Carolina. They said they could fix the truck, and they had me to send them $2,000. I sent the $2,000. Then they gonna tell me they can't fix the truck. They would have to put another transmission in there, And I'm saying, well, why you tell me this here? Why didn't you tell me that before I send you the down payment? You know. And then they
Okay.
held my truck. My After I got somebody to pull my truck from Columbia, South Carolina, here to Greenville, North Carolina. They tell me, no, you owe me $700 more. So then now they held my truck hostage until I was able to do that.
This was a Freightliner?
And so, yeah, the Freightliner dealership in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay. So you
And
sent him the
so,
700?
excuse me.
You sent him the
Yeah,
700?
yeah, I sent them the 700. That's the only way they were going to be able to get my truck off the yard. See, the guy that was
Uh-huh.
going to pull my truck, he was already there. He already had the truck jacked up.
Mm-hmm.
So what they doing is, and now if he would have dropped the truck, they saying now we're going to charge you for every day that we don't, every day that we keep your truck.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my truck paid for. So when you doing a deal like that, you don't want nobody to do that because they could put a bill on you that you wouldn't be able to afford, knowing you only been in the business 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
but
you get
anyway, I got the truck.
mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I'm listening.
So I got the truck here. I got the truck back here in Greenville, North Carolina. Now I finally got a transmission, everything for it, and get ready, get right back on the road. Um, and I already know what the money was like, man, when I was out there. And for anybody that want to do the box truck business, you like you said, man, it's a lot of sacrifice, man, when you out there doing that OTR. It's a lot of sacrifice, but hey, if if you're willing to do it, you could do it.
Okay.
But
What's
I like it. That's why I'm getting back out there.
all right? What's your question?
Well, my question is, I was just trying to figure out what the freight was like over a period of time since I ain't been out there.
About the same as it was when you left.
Okay.
But I mean, you asked me about the volume of freight, or you asked me about the rates?
Yeah, because I heard the rates had dropped down, even like from Amazon. I had talked to a couple of people and they were talking about the rates, but see, they local here. They don't go OTR. They don't go over the road. They just do local.
Mm-hmm. What's your cost per mile?
And
Well, what was your cost per mile when you were running the last
I was at least
little?
trying to stay with 195 to
No.
$2.
What was your cost per mile when you were running that last little stint when you was running?
That last load.
No.
Now, when you say your cost per mile,
The last stint, your last stint you was running, whatever that stint was, however you calculated your cost per mile, weekly, monthly, or whatever, however you did it, whatever the last stint was, what was your cost per mile?
It was $2.
So your cost per mile is $2. You sure?
I'm positive. Yeah.
Right, so
see, I had took loads less than that though.
Hold on. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna cook. We just turning the stove on and we putting the olive oil in there. We finna cook.
Okay.
You better believe we finna cook. I'm just getting the olive oil out the cover and I'm spraying it on the skillet so we can cook. We just setting it up. We just setting up the skillet. And you said your cost per mile was $2. Are you sure that's what you calculated?
I mean, because
right?
I have took less now. Now don't
hold
think
on, we gonna get to that. Hold on. We're gonna get to that.
Okay,
We're gonna get to that.
But I always try to take a load, about $2 a mile.
Hold on, we're gonna get to that. That's when we start throwing the ingredients in the skillet. We ain't got to that point yet.
Okay.
We still got the skillet heating up. Got the skillet heating
Got you.
So you got a 2011 truck.
Yeah.
That's paid for. Now it was paid for 8 months ago, right?
That's right.
You bought the truck in 2022. How much did you pay for the truck?
I paid about $20,000.
All right, you paid $20,000. What month in 2022? You don't remember when you started your business?
Well, when you get your DOT number, before you get that, you gotta get your insurance, and then you gotta wait that 21 days. You see what I'm saying? See, I'm just trying to give you
When did you buy your truck?
It probably was around March. I'm gonna say March or somewhere around there.
The first truck that I ever purchased was October 13th, 2013. Now, I was running before that, but the first truck that I ever purchased that wasn't a rental that I purchased was October 13th of 2013. It's 2024, and I know that. Why? Because that date was a momentous day. That day is a holiday. That was the first day Mark ever purchased a truck. How do you not know that?
It was probably Labor Day. That was yeah, it was somewhere around there, man.
Somewhere around where? Labor Day, you said, of 2022? March of 2022.
No. I'm saying about March of 22.
March of 22.
Mm-hmm.
And you paid it outright, right?
Yeah.
All right. Your truck broke down what month in 2023?
Probably about. It broke down. No, it broke down in January the 7th of 23. January 7th, 23. They pulled it from.
That's longer than 8 months. You say your truck been broke down 8 months. It's April of 2024. January 2023 is almost a year and a half ago.
I just put a transmission in there, you know.
Hold on.
But I'm just ain't on the road yet.
Let's slow down. Something ain't adding up.
Okay.
You said the truck broke down 8 months ago. 8 months ago puts us back in like September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So August of last year is 8 months ago. August, September. But now you're saying it broke down January of 2023.
Yeah, it broke down January 2023. They pulled me off I-85.
So your truck been broke down a year and a half. That's not 8 months.
But yeah. I would have had it fixed way before then, man. Like I said, man, you know. But go ahead.
I'm just trying to set the timeline because first you said 8 months, but now you're saying January 2023. That's a year and a half, damn near.
Yeah.
So was it 8 months or was it a year and a half ago?
It was January 7th.
So about a year and a half ago, then, not 8 months.
Yeah. No, not 8 months.
All right. So you got your truck March of 2022, and it broke down January of 2023. So you've been out of the business for over a year.
Over a year.
All right. So you're saying that your cost per mile from March of 2022 to January of 2023 was $2 a mile. What was your insurance cost?
It was $724 a month.
And what other costs did you have fixed or not fuel? What other fixed costs did you have? Fixed costs, not variable costs.
I mean, you had everything for the truck. You had your insurance. You had your fuel mile.
You gave me insurance. What were your other fixed costs? Fixed costs.
It was all just the basics, but other than just the insurance, that's all you had basically.
How was your cost per mile? $2.
Excuse me?
How was your cost per mile? $2.
How was it?
How was it $2? I don't understand that. You bought a $20,000 truck that you bought outright. You still got to recoup the money from that purchase, but your insurance was very, very low. So I'm trying to figure out if your fixed costs are extremely low, how is your cost per mile extremely high?
I mean, you always try to get back. You always try to when you just starting a business, you trying to do the very best you can to get back. Knowing you just put the money to get back. You don't charge $2 a mile.
Mr. Willie Wilson.
What is your cost? What is your cost per mile? Yes.
My cost per mile is 0. I asked you, what's your
Is
cost
it?
per mile? Yeah, my cost per mile is
Yeah.
0. What's your cost per mile? What was your cost per mile?
And I just told you.
And I'm asking you, how was your cost per mile $2 when you have very low overhead? How is your cost per mile so high when your overhead is low?
You still got, and see, at that time, fuel was high. Fuel was almost $6 in Philadelphia. You can't cost the fuel. I went to
Once again,
Philadelphia, and
Mr. Willie
I was
Wilson.
at a Pilot J. Go ahead. I
Mr.
was at
Willie
a Pilot
Wilson.
J.
You
Go ahead.
talking to Mark, the mentor.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you don't remember fuel as being high during that time.
Yeah. What that got to do with your cost per mile being $2 when you got a truck that's paid for, even with you adding what you need to recoup into your fixed cost and a very, very low insurance, which I understand why your insurance is low, and I'm not going to get into that. Mm-hmm. How is your cost per mile so high?
I didn't thought that's high because that what the cost per mile was going at that rate.
That's what the cost per that's what the cost per mile was going for? What that got? What you mean that's what the cost per mile was going for?
Oh, it wasn't going for that at that time.
You can get cost per mile off a shelf or something?
No, you can't.
What it was going for? So I'm trying to figure out, what was it going for? What your cost per mile got to do with what the cost per mile was going for?
That's what I'm saying, because you have to make money, aren't you?
Yeah, you got to make money.
So if you ain't out to make, money, what are you out to do?
You asked me a question. We got to get to the answer, but first we got to do.
That's what I'm saying.
We got to do the prerequisite to get to where we need to get to. Do you understand what cost? Do you understand what cost per mile is?
Well, whatever you're gonna travel per mile, aren't you? You don't add that up.
You asked you what the cost.
I told you it was $2. My cost per mile was close to $2. I try to stay within the $2 range.
And based off the information that you gave me, that doesn't make sense. You have a very low fixed cost. I know people that are paying truck notes. I've done cost per mile. People paying truck notes, higher insurance, that don't have a $2 cost per mile. You don't have half the fixed cost that they have. And I'm trying to figure out how your cost per mile is so high. You don't understand what I'm saying, which leads me to believe. Hold on, we're gonna get to it. That's why I'm educating you. You said that's what the cost per mile was going for, as if cost per mile was something that you can just pluck off a shelf, or is that just something that you charge a customer? A cost per mile is how much it costs you to operate your vehicle. It's not something about what it's going for. Everybody's cost per mile is different. It has nothing to do about what it's going for. A cost per mile is what it costs you per mile to operate your vehicle. I said vehicle because I wanted to sound like I was from the South. I said vehicle. Your cost per mile, based on the information that you gave, was not $2 a mile. That's something that you plucked out of thin air and said, my cost per mile is $2 a mile. That's the first thing. We're going to get back to it. Now, you said something that you said you took loads for less than $2 a mile, right? You were getting into that and cut you off. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I'm just saying, when you call the dispatcher, he'll because he already know what my cost was. And then he'll probably see me somewhere. He'll say, well, Willie, it's kind of slow in this area, but on the load, they paying $1.70, $1.80 a mile, whatever. Come on, let's go ahead and get this here, get you out of there.
And you took it, right?
That's what we'll do.
So let me ask you this.
I took it.
check this out. If your cost per mile is $2 a mile, which it wasn't, but you thought it was, so we just going based off what you thinking it is, why would you take something for less?
I mean, some you know, for some areas, it's kind of hard to get out of.
Why go there?
I mean, if a load now, if they say give me the right amount of money, I'm gonna go. I might have to sit a day.
So you gonna go somewhere for the right amount of money and end up giving that money back and probably more to get up out of there, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
So let me ask you this: what sense do that make?
It don't make a whole lot of sense. But see, I was out there to make money.
So
I mean,
but how you gonna make money if you paying to run the load?
Yeah. You correct.
So your question to me now is what the rates looking like out there. They looking the same way. The question is are you running effectively? Do you know what your cost per mile is?
I may not have been running effectively.
You don't know what your cost per mile. You don't know what it costs you to operate your truck.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. Every single question I asked you led to the answer that you don't know. Right? In order for you to succeed out here, you got to know what it costs you to operate your truck. Period. You're not in the business to pay to run your truck. There's no sense of doing that. What was your next question?
No, that was the question there, bro.
That was the question?
Yeah, that was the question.
Were you profitable when you were running your truck, when it was working?
Oh, yeah.
You were?
Yeah.
Operating, taking loads.
I mean, because most of the times I'll leave on Sunday. I'm back on Thursday. Or I leave Monday. I'll be back on Friday. Because like I said, I just ran up and down the East Coast.
Do you understand the formula to calculate your cost per mile?
I mean, if you got one, you could help me out.
Yeah, I got one. I just want to know, do you know it?
I might not. No,
you don't know it. So that means you don't know your cost per mile. You never knew your cost per mile. So you were just taking loads with the understanding that you don't know if you were making money or losing money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the answer I want to hear, because that's their answer. And you got a dispatcher, and your dispatcher never asked you what your cost per mile was so that they can find you loads, profitable loads based on your cost per mile. Your dispatcher never asked you, or did they ask you? Okay.
No. Well, yeah, he did. When I first got him, he said, what was your cost a mile? That's where we got to it. Now, and then he'll add up the miles that what I was traveling per mile. That's where, he'll let me know about this, the $1.90, $1.70 or whatever per mile. But see, in the deadhead, you don't get nothing for deadhead.
Here's what I'm telling you. Your truck is an asset for you to make money. It's just like if I own a restaurant. Let's look at it like this. I got a restaurant, right? I sell a hamburger, right? The price that I sell the hamburger for, there's a lot of things that are included for me to come up with that number, right? The cost that it cost me to produce that hamburger, and then I have to add some type of profit on top of it, right? Right. If I got pickles on the hamburger, tomatoes, lettuce, cheese, the buns, the wrapper, the bag that the hamburger goes in, all that is included in the cost. There's a reason why it's only 2 slices of tomatoes. There's a reason why it's only a slice of lettuce, 1 slice of cheese. The burger, if it's a third of a pound, a quarter pound, a half a pound. The buns, how many buns do we get in a package? Divided, how much does that cost divided by how many buns? The wrapper, the bag, whatever all that cost, that's how much it costs to produce that burger. The taxes, the profit. This is how I determine how much I can charge a customer for that burger, because I first got to understand how much it costs me to make it. I can't just have a restaurant and sell a burger for $1 because I want to sell it for $1. It may cost me $1.15 to produce the burger. You get where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with your truck. All the costs that are associated with you owning and operating your truck, you have to calculate that. The number that it totals up to be, that's how you determine how much it costs for you to operate your truck. Now you know how to go out there and compete. If it costs you $1.50, let's say, I just want to make the math easy. Let's say $1. Let's say $1.50. If your cost per mile is $1.50, you shouldn't take anything less than $1.50 because you're operating in the red. It defeats the purpose of running a business. You should be looking for things that are more, right? Now, there's other little tricks of the trade that are a little bit more advanced that I can get into, but I'm not going to get into them because I don't think you're ready for that, right? That you could take loads potentially for less when you're talking about partials, but I don't deal with that. So I don't present that type of content, right? But before you can understand that, you have to understand the basics. If I buy for $1, I sell for $2. If I buy for $1, I may sell for $1.50, depending on what the competition is like and how I'm competing in the market at that particular time. But if I buy for $1, I'm not going to sell my product for 80 cents because I'm losing 20 cents on every single piece that I sell. And now I'm operating in the red, and that's not what I set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
I set out to operate in the black. So it's very important that you understand how much it's costing you to operate your vehicle, because you're never, if you don't know if you're making money or losing money. And in most cases, a person that doesn't know what it's costing them to operate their truck, more times than not, they're losing money.
You're right.
So
You're right.
So I have a video, really simple, really basic. Like I made it really, really basic. It's not even 2 minutes long. To help you calculate your cost per mile. I think you should watch it, and that way when you get your truck back, whenever you get it back, I'm hoping you get it back soon. You can calculate the cost per mile, and you can provide that information to your dispatcher. Now, if your dispatcher never asked you for your cost per mile to begin with, you need to fire that person.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have no interest in your success. For them just toss you loads without even saying, all right, we can provide you loads. What's your cost per mile? Then you need to get rid of that person. You just paying them for nothing. I think you paying them for nothing anyway. You can save that. What you paying them, 10%?
No, 8.
You can keep
I
that
was
8%
giving
in your. You can keep that 8% in your pocket. But that's neither here nor there. I want you to focus on your cost per mile. Now, as far as the rates, similar to what they were, but you don't know if you won't be making money or losing money because you don't know your cost per mile. That's why it's important that you know your cost per mile. It's very important.
Okay.
You got any more questions for me this evening?
Nah, but I appreciate you.
You sure? Seem a little
Oh yeah.
little perplexed a little bit. You good?
No. I'm good. I'm good. Believe me.
All right, Mr. Willie
Yeah, I'm
Wilson.
good.
You have a good evening.
All right, you too, bro.
All right, later.